Hey you guys, welcome back again to Rebuild Reality, where as always we talk about who we really are, why we're here, and how all of this 3D stuff really works. I am your host, Sky Cheyenne, and you know how people are always saying it, a lot of you, probably, maybe even most of you have heard it, that nothing has any meaning, that the world in of itself doesn't mean anything. Stuff that happens doesn't actually mean anything. But I think most people just kind of let that go over their head. Like, okay, the world has no meaning, without understanding what impact that really has and what that's really saying. And what it means is that everything's neutral, right? But when let's say you wake up in the morning and you're like, I think does that feel funny? My back feel funny? Maybe that's not right. You just gave it meaning. Like, I hate getting up in the morning and it's going to be another one of those days. You just gave it meaning. And when we give it meaning, it becomes that for us. You just assigned it a role in your life of good or bad. And it happens so simple because we're so used to, especially humans are so used to thinking negatively about things. Well, that probably means this, or, oh, they probably didn't like me, or what does that mean? What did they say that for? And just on and on and on and on and on. We're always assigning things a negative meaning more often than not. And what happens is when we assign something a negative meaning, when we assume it's a negative thing, then we're changing our point of view on it. We're taking a point of view on it. We're coming from like, we can view it from good or bad. And we're deciding to view it from a negative, even if it's kind of I'm just annoyed or kind of thing. It's still a negative thing. So we're still piling on more negative stuff. And that changes your point of view. And when you change your point of view on something by doing that, that's what reality creation is all about. You just created something negative for yourself, without even realizing it. But that's why so nothing means anything. Everything that happens, it doesn't mean anything. So the fact that your SP didn't contact you yet, or didn't send you a text or call you, or that your best friend hasn't invited you to the party that that they're having, or whatever it is, the fact that something hasn't happened the way you want it to yet, don't immediately just assign it a negative meaning, which is what everyone does. And then that becomes your reality, because that becomes your perspective, your point of view. So what I like to do is I like to play a little game that no matter what it is that happens, I stubbed my toe, that's good. That's good. And I'll make up some meaning right on the spot. That means that my manifestation is absolutely coming true. What I want is absolutely for sure true. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stubbed my toe. And as crazy as that sounds, to assign something that seems like it's not a positive thing and making it a positive thing. Ooh, my sun is coming out. Then it becomes positive for you. So that's why all day long, I'll play this game. And I'll be like, oh, that leaf, I just saw that leaf flow by, just fly by or whatever. And I'm like, that means this, that means that. That means this is going to be a great day. Or that means, you can like go kind of crazy on this. And once you get started, it's actually like really, really fun to do this. But that's how you can really kind of change your perspective around and make things happen really, really quickly for you if you're constantly assigning everything a good meaning. So you're not focusing on what you're trying to create, right? You're just automatically assigning everything a positive meaning. That means my life is fantastic. That means I got everything I want. That means that, this time tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. Or that means that person absolutely loves me and that person adores me. And that's what that means. And you just kind of like go, crazy sometimes, assigning everything a positive meaning. Either that or you just want a neutral meaning. It's like that doesn't mean anything. Like a lot of times where people because a lot of the people I work with are really worried that their emotions are going to affect what they're trying to create. And it's like, well, yes, if you assign a negative, meaning to that, then that, of course, once again, change your perspective, and you're assigning it that role. You're making it negative when you could make it positive. So as long as you just feel the emotions and you don't attach any meaning to them, then there's no problem at all. But if you're like get upset, well, nothing's happened yet and I'm getting really upset about it, and that's why I cried, because it's not happening and I feel like giving up. It's like, well, you just assigned meaning to it. So you could just as easily, be like, well, this is great because this is a release. So obviously things are moving, emotions are moving through me. So obviously that this is a huge push forward, that everything is changing. You could assign that meaning to it if you wanted to, or just simply like look at emotions and just be like, it's just happening. Like, I see that it's happening. I notice it's happening. That's okay. I'm going to totally feel it and then let it go. And that has nothing to do with what it is that I'm creating, what it is that I'm manifesting. Don't say that it does and then it won't. And it's really kind of that easy that, we don't see it, that we have that much power. But literally what you're saying in those moments, moment by moment, day after day, we're constantly assigning meaning to things that are meaningless, things that don't have any, they don't mean anything. They're not trying to say anything. The world's not trying to tell you anything by these things. It's we who tell us, we who assign things good or bad, because you're the creator of your reality. And that's what you're here to do, to decide your creation and what it's going to be, to decide what you're going to think of yourself, to decide what you're going to think of other people, to decide how your life is going to go by the meaning that you give it, which is going to be your point of view, which is going to be your reality. So I hope that helps. Gonna clear those things up for you guys. If you're having like issues trying to figure those things out and understanding how simple it is to assign meaning to freaking everything. And I used to do that all the time, where like everything meant something, and it's like, no, nothing means anything until you decide that it does, and that's it. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys out, and thanks you guys for being here with me once again on Rebuild Reality. Thank you for liking, subscribing, being a part of the channel, and all of that. As always, I look forward to having you here next time on Rebuild Reality.